So this is my review of the Eve mattress, the world's most comfortable mattress. Well, that's what it says on the website. So obviously those are the headlines that catch your eye. The world's most comfortable mattress. I was curious how they make that claim, the world's most comfortable, because at the end of the day, comfortable is very, very subjective. It's comfortable would be soft to somebody, firm to somebody else, medium soft to someone else. We're all different shapes and sizes. We like a different feel. As long as your spine is aligned in whichever is your sleeping position, the bed will be fine for you, and you may term it comfortable. Really, comfortable is you wake up after 8 hours with no aches and pains, and your spine has been aligned all that time. That's a good mattress, whether it's soft, firm, whatever. But they say the world's most comfortable mattress. So, cut a long story short, how do they say that? I did ask them on their online support. They said it's based on having a customer satisfaction score of 95%. Well, to me, if it's going to be the world's most comfortable mattress, that would have to be higher than everybody else's satisfaction score. I'm not sure that they know everybody else's satisfaction score. And it's yellow. Now, a lot of people don't like the yellow. I personally like anything that isn't bland, that isn't the black, grey, white that you normally get. So I do applaud Eve for their online marketing, which works, and for the branding. I do like the yellow. I know it's really in your face. It's a like it or love it, but I personally do like it. So just a quick overview. Who are Eve? Eve are a UK-based company who do sell across the world. They do sell in America, across Europe. But please note, the mattress in America is completely different to the UK EU spec mattress. In the USA, it's a much softer mattress and the density is much lower. So they say it's because people in America prefer a softer feel, and that may well be true. But on paper, it's not as well spec'd as the UK mattress, which has a higher average density, which promises a longer life down the line. So Eve, our company who came to market in October 2014, Eve Sleep PLC is the company now. It was Eve Sleep Limited. So that's a little bit of the background, and I will tell you what you really want to know is about the mattress. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. As I said, it is a firm feel, and it surprised me because when you first, even if you just do it the hand test, you put your hand on, it feels quite nice. It of course feels quite firm, and I have to say, by the way, it's a really nice feeling cover. But you lie in it and think, oh, that's a lot of give in memory foam fashion. But as soon as you settle in, it actually feels quite firm. And you're going to have to like a firm feeling mattress. So it's fine if you're on your back. If you like a firm feel and you're on your back, you know, everything's pretty much aligned. It feels fine, but firm. It's going to suit stomach sleepers. It's nice and firm, but with some give, just only where you need it. The only people that are going to have problems are people who predominantly on your side. It's okay if you just shift a little bit to your side in the night, but it's quite a bit of pressure, a little too much pressure for my liking on the shoulder area. If you have shoulder issues, you're not going to really appreciate or want this mattress, I have to say. But back sleepers, front sleepers, it's absolutely fine if you're looking for something on the firmer side. It's very different from the other online mattresses such as Lisa, such as Casper, because the Eve mattress is with that memory foam top layer, which means in terms of spot relief, so in terms of, there's a 10 kilo, 20 pound weight. In terms of where your body is pressing down, it's giving there. You know, there's some give. You're not sleeping on a floor, even if, though I say firm, you know, firm, I mean, relative to a lot of the contemporary mattresses out there, such as Casper and Lisa. But it's only giving right by where this kettlebell is actually pushing down. Already here, the mattress is still unaffected and it's level. And that's different from any other of the foam mattresses that you try online, that I've tried, that don't have the memory foam top. The area of effect, the spot relief capabilities, are inferior because it'll be pushing down more of the foam. So if I did that on, say, a Lisa, it would still be, the foam would still be affected a little further out because, for instance, Lisa is a softer feeling mattress, but also because it's polyfoam, so it has different properties. But that memory foam top layer means you get good spot relief properties. But I have to say, there's only 3 centimeters of memory foam on top. And although that makes it feel soft and it's a good comfort layer, it's not quite deep enough. And even the 2017-2018 version of Eve is very different from previous versions of Eve. So when you look at reviews online, you're not really going to be sure what they're reviewing, because the first Eve that came out in 2014 was a latex mattress. When I say latex, I mean the top layer was latex, and it was 4 centimeters of latex. Below that was 4 centimeters of memory foam. Compare that to today, where you've got 3 centimeters memory foam, 3 centimeters polyfoam. It's a completely different mattress. After that first one and before this one was the second gen, which was 4 centimeters memory foam and 3 centimeters polyfoam. So still had a bigger layer of memory foam. So it's not so great. I don't know if that's to do with budget concerns and competing with their contemporaries, but I would suspect it is. And it's a shame, because I think it's just, if they'd been a little bit softer, if that memory foam layer had been a little bit deeper, I feel would have suited more people. It would have been more in line with the other mattresses out there. Today's mattress is different, but flip side of that, the actual specs of the mattress are very, very good. Now, first of all, it's CertiPure certified, which means that when you get the smell of a foam mattress, and they all do give off some smell, they've all got chemicals added. Synthetic foam, of course, is all chemicals. So it's going to smell a bit, it's going to leach out some chemicals which they call volatile organic compounds, and that's the smell you get when they call it off-gassing. Well, CertiPure certified means it's certified to be low altogether in the off-gassing, and the chemicals it does leach are not the more harmful chemicals. Yes, like in the EU it's all regulated anyway, but CertiPure takes it a step further. Now, you do pay a premium for CertiPure foam, and there aren't many other certified mattresses. I know Bruno's certified, but most of these others, Casper, Lisa, they haven't got the CertiPure certification. How do you know that it's like, well, you know, if you don't smell anything, then you're pretty much on the safe side. All foam mattresses should be aired for the first 48 hours. They're all going to leach. Most of the chemicals that are going to leach will be in that first 48 hours. After that, you shouldn't be smelling anything. I didn't smell anything on the Eve to start with, and that's been the case all the time I've been sleeping on it, so that's really good. Very different from past Eves, because I did have the previous version, and that stunk. The sink did not really go away, and that's a really, really bad sign. If you're smelling it, you're smelling chemicals. You do not want to be doing that on your mattress. So a lot of good things about the Eve mattress. It's a shame about the size of the layers. The top cover is polyester with a little bit of spandex, lycra, it's all the same thing, elastane. It has some in, so it gives it that stretchy, elasticated feel, and it does feel nice, it does feel stretchy, and it's breathable, so that's going to help with cooling. So how is Eve for sleeping hot or cool? Well, you don't get a memory foam mattress if you are really, really serious about sleeping cool, because memory foam works by retaining some heat. But this is not what I would call a full-on memory foam. It's somewhere between a traditional memory foam and a polyfoam, because it's a lot more responsive than a traditional memory foam, but still with the properties of a memory foam rather than a polyfoam. This cover, it's a nice feeling, it's breathable, but it's also fully removable, which is a huge, huge plus, because first of all, some mattresses like Lisa, the cover, you've got to take the whole cover off if you want to clean even a small area, or if for whatever reason you're taking it off. Whereas here, just the top section will come off on its own. Plus, it's machine washable at 40 degrees, whereas a lot of the other covers are only you can only spot clean. You can't put them in a washing machine. So it's a very nice cover, and when you spend a lot of time with the mattress, these are things that do make a difference. Not only that, just showing you how it fully comes off, but on the bottom, are 4 handles. Now, you might think that's not a big deal, but it really is a big deal in a foam mattress because these things are quite weighty. If you don't have handles and you're trying to move the mattress by grabbing the foam, you're going to pull chunks off. The foam is pretty brittle on these things, and you're going to start getting chunks of foam missing. But it's all, not only do you not get that problem, it's a lot easier anyway with handles rather than trying to grab it. I would like to see handles on the sides, but that's another matter. At least Eve, you know, the design elements are good, the foam specs are good, Certipure certification is good. My only downside is going to be the size of these comfort layers. So that's the cover. As you see, fully removable. We'll just stick that in a washing machine. It means you don't have to take the mattress off the base or anything. So we're talking about how responsive it is for a memory foam. Normally you do this on a memory foam, you put your hands down and it would take at least a few seconds to come back into shape. As you say, that's almost instant, almost like a polyfoam. But I know it's not a polyfoam because when you test the motion transfers on this, it's excellent. Very little motion is transferred compared to a normal polyfoam like Lisa or Casper. So if you've got a double and you've got your partners on the other side and they start turning, you will feel less of that movement on the Eve than you would on, say, Casper or Pruno or Lisa. Just to show you that, people always want to know. So if I'm laying on it like that, and then I move, what you should be looking for is how much of my shape has been retained. So if I now move, it should show that none of my shape has been retained, which is a good thing. Something else people always want to know, is the Eve mattress any good for sex? I can only tell you my criteria, and that's to have a good balance between comfort and bounce. Eve does not have a lot of bounce. It wouldn't be my choice for a mattress for sex. You can demonstrate the amount of bounce it has. You can see that's pretty much a dead feel. There is some bounce. I'm not saying there's no bounce. I'm saying compared to other mattresses, there's not a lot of bounce. You could certainly get firmer mattresses that have even less bounce, but there isn't a lot. Talking about the actual layers themselves, so we have our top layer memory foam, which is quite a responsive memory foam, but as you see, it's only 3 centimeters deep. And even Eve themselves in their earlier mattresses, they were 4 centimeters. So we're talking about a 25% difference. I think it makes a big difference. This is really just a comfort layer. There's no real support coming from that. So this is basically, you know, when most people say, oh, is it comfortable? It's really the comfort layers they're talking about rather than support layers. The support layers being what actually holds your body up. So you're going to sink into that and then quickly hit that next down layer, which is, you know, going to give you a firm feel. I have to say, not only is it Certipure certified, it's a good density. It's 75 kilo per cubic meter. That's about as high as you're going to see in a mattress in this price range. If you go to high-end mattresses, orthopedic mattresses, you're talking 90 kilos there, but obviously probably feel even firmer. But for a mattress like that, it's high, it's a good spec. Is that important? Yes, because that gives you a clue to how long this mattress will last before it starts losing its shape and properties, which all foam mattresses will do. I know they're all warranted for 10 years, but really the warranty is for manufacturing defects. It's very hard to claim for what would be normal wear and tear. And normal wear and tear on a foam mattress, if you look at the warranty, it says you don't start claiming till you've got a 1-inch dip. Oh, imagine that, a 1-inch dip. It's already really unusable, and that's before you can even think about claiming. So densities are important because it'll hold your shape longer. Really important on that top layer because that takes most of the wear and tear, most of the weight. That's where you're going to first see any signs of dip or softness in one area compared to another area. And by the way, when I say this is firm, you've got to remember all foam mattresses are going to get softer down the line. You may be better off having something a little bit firmer than you really like now, because over time it's going to be longer in the range of what you do like in terms of feel, in terms of softness, if you want something feeling a little softer. If you start off with something that's absolutely right, it's very soon going to feel softer than that. So if this is only a little bit firmer, it's not a bad thing in a foam mattress. It's 75 kilos, so that's a really good spec, but it's only 3 centimeters. 55, the polyfoam under that is 55 kilos per cubic meter. That's what you'd expect for that layer. The base is 36 kilos per cubic meter, which is pretty good for a base layer, and that's your firm base layer. Now, I did really wonder how much of the feel of the mattress was down to what I would suggest is a little too thin a layer of memory foam. So what I did, I went out and bought another 2-inch memory foam topper of a matched memory foam. So another 75 kilo per cubic meter topper at 2 inches, and I tried that, which I will show you. So this is my memory foam topper. It did come with the Cool Max cover, by the way, which is very nice and cooling, just to let you know. This is a topper by Body Mode. This is their Supreme topper. If you're interested, I will put a link in the description to Amazon. But bear in mind, I've changed the specs now since I bought it to a 70 kilo, which is still pretty decent. But this is matched, so 75 kilo, 75 kilo. I did weigh it to check it, and it really is. And the question is, if you now have 3 inches of memory foam, so on this EU single, it cost £100. So adding £100 to a, like, you know what, it's £300 mattress, is it worth it? What difference does it make? Does that small 3 centimeter layer make a big difference? And I have to say, it's great. I really like it with this topper, which tells me, look, they've spec'd it, they've done their market research. I'm not saying, from my personal taste, 13 stone, 182 pound. So I'm quite average in many ways. This is now, to me, more the world's most comfortable mattress. It would be one of the more comfortable options that I've tried, simply adding this topper. It almost now too much on the soft side, in that I think my hips sink down maybe slightly too much, but it's not a problem. I have slept on it quite a bit, and I really like it. Maybe it lacks a little bit of support, but then obviously that's going to be very personal. But it's transformed from a firm, you know, uncomfortably firm for me mattress into a very comfortable mattress and well spec'd. You know, I've got 3 inches of 75 kilo memory foam. And the thing is about your memory foam, the first thing to go is the top layer. You know, it takes the biggest pounding, quite honestly. And so if you're using a topper, it's a lot easier to swap out a topper than the rest of your mattress. If you are a person that uses toppers, you should be using it on a firm mattress, because at the end of the day, the firm mattress should be basically the support, and the topper should be the comfort layer. So that means something like the Eve is a fantastic option if you are going to use a memory foam topper, which is a good idea because you can tailor it more to your wants and needs. And the first thing to go will be that topper. You can swap out the topper, you don't have to swap out the mattress. So there's a lot of sense in that. And if you use toppers of any kind, do place it on a firmer mattress, so the mattress becomes the support layer rather than a comfort layer as well, and your topper is the comfort layer. What do I mean by comfort layers, by the way? It's the comfort layer gives where you put most weight on and fills out like the lumbar region where you're not pressing down, but you do then hit a support layer, and the support layer is what it says, it holds your body up. So you're sinking down in the comfort layer and being held up by the support layer, which by the way is why things like latex is so premium, because if you have a large slab of latex, it can be both comforting and supportive, and they call that the compression modulus, by the way, that you start off sinking into it, but the more you sink, the more it pushes back and supports you, and latex is really good for that. Anyway, so that covers what you're going to get from your mattress. You're going to have something that's a great option for a topper, or it's just going to give you a firm feel with great spot relief, great motion transference, in that it won't transfer motion. It's going to be Pure certified. It's going to have it's going to leach out chemicals, very low amounts of chemicals. These are great options. It's not going to smell great, but you know, it's not going to be the greatest for cooling, but it won't be bad. I had no issues with mine, but at the end of the day, the thing about memory foam is, or any mattress you sink into, once you sink into it a lot, of course, that by nature means you're going to heat up. If you sleep on a firm mattress and you're basically floating on the top of it, you're going to sleep cooler. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. I have to say, as I said, the Eve cover, which is fantastic, is pretty breathable, so that's going to help. Other things you're going to be wondering, for instance, edge support. All the mattresses I've tried are basically the same for edge support. So when I do my test and I could put 20 kilos of weight on the edge, it dips about 30% of the height, which is about the same as Lisa, about the same as Casper and all the others out there. Bruno, which has got the latex top, is slightly better, but they're all about the same. It's not going to collapse unless you stand right on the edge. If I stand on the edge, it will collapse. But if you're just sitting on it, that's collapsing. But if you're just sitting on it, it's not really going to do that, and it's not going to do it any more than similar mattresses that you're probably looking at. Because like me, you're fooling with marketing of all of them: Casper, Lisa, Eve, Bruno. I don't know. There's a lot of them now, so it is interesting. But in terms of edge support, it's fine. A lot better than the previous one. I did have the previous Eve, which I had the problems with the smell, but also the edge support was basically non-existent. It did collapse. This, in those terms, is a much better mattress. I never did try the latex. I would have loved to have tried the latex version to see what that is. In terms of when I say it sleeps firm, and relatively so, I do a test where I use a 20 kilo weights in the middle and I measure the sinkage. Using that as a test of softness, it is one of the firmer mattresses, definitely almost on a par with Bruno. Bruno would feel slightly firmer than a Casper. Not a huge amount. Casper is also a firm mattress, but it is a tad firmer than Casper. It's definitely firmer than Lisa, and it's a hell of a lot firmer than Simba, which is a soft mattress. And in terms of pricing, they're all similar. And if you look at the advertised prices, they may be a little bit different. Each seem cheaper for the smaller mattresses, more expensive on the larger ones, but because they all do different deals at different times, depending on when you hit the websites, it may be a bit more expensive or less expensive. All I can say is relatively, Casper normally comes out a little bit cheaper, but it's not by a huge amount, 50, 75 quid. It's a little bit more expensive than, on average, depending on what you get, Lisa. But in line, I think Simba is the more expensive option, but they're all kind of in line within £100, I guess, 50 to £100 of each other, and whether you get a deal or not. You can see there's no zoning, i.e. where they would cut out bits on the side to make it dip a bit more. If they're not going to change the foam, I would suggest that would be one area where they would really benefit, giving you some more give in the shoulder area, or just to make the whole thing a little bit softer, with cutouts all along, which some of the other mattresses do. So in terms of, it compares to all the others, they're all in line. You're getting a 100-night trial. If you don't want it, they come and take it away for nothing. It's a 10-year warranty, but you've got to be careful with warranties on a foam mattress. There's a lot of things they don't cover. It's going to come vacuum packed. By the way, Eve is an online mattress, but they do have them in stores as well as on Amazon. And by the way, if you buy it on Amazon, you're going to have to deal with Amazon customer support. You can't deal with Eve if you buy via Amazon. Now, Bentals, Home Next, Phoenix, Debenhams, they do sell the mattress as well. So you can try and buy at those stores in the UK. So yeah, so I hope you got something out of that. People come looking at answers, is this a good mattress or not? And I can tell you if a mattress is terrible, I can tell you if a mattress is bad, because you're never going to get your spine aligned. There's going to be real problems with it. It may, it may not have, it may have no comfort layers. It may just be a very low spec. If the whole thing was spec like a base layer, it's terrible. But all of these online mattresses, you can't say they're bad, but I can't say it's the best mattress. It really does depend what feel you're looking for. And you've got to start listing your priorities, and then people can answer that question. But as I did when I first started, and especially when they're saying like the world's most comfortable mattress, I was thinking, oh, now they're saying this is like a high-end mattress and we save you a fortune because of the how we do it. We only do it online, although they're not all online anymore. But I did think, oh wow, I'm going to find a mattress and it's going to be the best. It's just going to be the best supportive, and it's going to be the most comfortable, and it's going to do everything. It really doesn't work like that. First and foremost, what feel do you want from your mattress? If you want a firm feel, this could be your answer, but then do you want a dead feel? Do you want more bounce? Do you want to make sure that you've got more chance of longevity out of the mattress than the specs? And I have to say, companies like Eve and Lisa are great because they openly tell you their specs, and there are other companies where it's almost impossible to get the specs out of them. And why do you want to know is often what I'm asked, and I want to know because it tells me if you're using cheap foam or not, and if it's going to last more than a year or not. So a company that openly tells you the specs is really important. One thing I did find is the published weights on these websites are just not accurate. And I don't know, in Eve's case, I mean, they had asked a question their weights a couple of times, and it did turn out they'd made errors, but they had no clue. But I do think some of their weights are actually for the previous versions, which clearly were heavier. So I've now started weighing my mattresses and working out what the other mattresses should weigh. Now, I do have the full review on my website. If you check out my website, more of that there. My website is Otza.com, so that's when I'm going to put the in-depth information and reviews, which some people ask me to do, so I'm doing that. And yeah, if you've got anything to ask, just please hit me up in the comments. But I hope you got something out of that. Thank you for watching.
UK